All right, brothers, it's Zero Dark 30, man, and something just crossed my mind. I really wanted to make a part 2 to the video I just made about Brother Moore, the Michigan coach, right? And not necessarily a part 2 about him, but about the conversation as a whole. Like, why is it that us as men are even attracted to or drawn to destructive women? Because it's easy for us to sit on the sideline and see Brother Moore, you know, fat salary, you know, nice wife, nice home, nice life, and look at it and just say, man, this brother just dropped the ball, man. Why he do X, Y, Z? It's easy for us to sit on the sideline, but I'm almost sure if you've lived long enough, if you've been in enough relationships, you've been in a relationship that has done the same thing. You might not have been the $6 million man, but you've been in a relationship where either you had a good woman on your side, or you were focused, the business was going good, something was going good. At some point in your life, I know you've attracted, or you've dated, or you've entertained a woman that threw you off course. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start asking ourselves, man, like, why is it we're even attracted to these women? And the thing is, I believe it takes a man a good while to even recognize it, because for me personally, man, it took me years of dating different kind of women, different races, different cultures, different creeds. And at some point I said, you know what? I'm getting the exact same result every relationship. So I said, I'm the only common denominator, man. So I had to start looking at these women and then ask myself, what is it that I'm drawn to? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you this, man, this is what I figured out some years ago, bro. And I need y'all to hear me out. A lot of times, and I'm going to point back to Brother Moore, Michigan coach, right? A lot of times, brothers, we are under, I'll say it like this. A lot of times we say things like, oh man, it's a trauma bond. You know, we're bonded because, you know, we might have saw our pops moving a certain way and yada, yada, yada. Or we might have saw our mother do, you know, whatever. And that, there's a lot of truth to that. But at the same time, brother, it's deeper than that. You have to understand, man, that a lot of us are under a curse. A lot of us are under a curse. Now, I don't know Brother Moore's situation, man, but I'd be willing to bet that wasn't his first time entertaining something outside the lines of his marriage. And I'd be willing to bet that maybe he saw that, or maybe his pops moved like that. I'd almost be willing to say that maybe his pops moved like that. See, it seemed like it's like he had to be somewhat of an intelligent man. You know what I'm saying? To have the level of education, the level of success, he had to be somewhat of an intelligent man. And if someone was to ask him, if a young man was to come to ask him about advice about how to move with women, I'm sure he would have corrected his own situation if he was giving advice to somebody else, right? So why is it that him being a wise, successful man couldn't be smart enough not to entertain a woman that could bring his whole kingdom down? It's deeper than just, oh man, he saw a chick and she was fine, she was cute. No, brother, it's some stuff, man, that goes back, I believe. And I talked about this in a beautiful Faces of Evil. I talked about my personal situation. I figured out, man, that a problem that I was having in life with women, brother, it was deeper than me. It was deeper than my father. It was something in my blood that I had to break. So you gotta understand, man, a lot of times when I'm talking about we gotta start moving certain ways as men, I'm talking about breaking curses, bro. I'm talking about us moving a certain way as men, so that our sons and our nephews and everybody behind us don't have to go through the same thing. Like, we have to break those curses. I really believe, man, that I mean, who knows how far it goes back? You know, this could go back to, hell, I don't know, Garden of Eden. This could go back to slave. It can go back to anywhere. At some point in time, I believe a lustful spirit was put inside of us, you know, or put inside of our bloodline, and now we just can't get rid of it. I think a lot of us as men, we just can't get rid of it, man. It's on us now, and it's cursing generation after generation. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be known, but like, I know a lot of people say things like, oh yeah, man, my grandpops, man, he had a whole family down the road and and pops was moving a certain way, and I think I'm just supposed to move like this. No, you're not supposed to move like this. Something is on you, man. So even when you get a good woman, you have a family, you got a nice job, you got beautiful kids, you still want to drop the ball in life and entertain a Jezebel. You know what I'm saying, man? So the first thing is we have to understand that we're under a curse, a lot of us, and you got to break it. Even in a singular truth, man, when I talked about going through the pasture and breaking curses, I said you're going to get to a point where you're going to face something your bloodline face. You're going to find yourself at the edge of that pasture, and you're going to be standing in the same footprints as people from generation before you. I said, but some of them couldn't make that change. You got to make that change, man. You have to be that upright man. You know what I'm saying? So first thing is a lot of us are under curse, right? The second reason why I believe us as men entertain destructive women is because we require a dopamine hit. And when I say a dopamine hit, I'll say this: every man needs a dopamine hit. Like I don't believe a man can function without a dopamine hit. And I believe when we're young, you know, we entertain everything else. We're drawn to video games. We're drawn to everything. Just dopamine hits. But at some point, your dopamine hit is supposed to be your purpose. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. You can drink whatever you want. You can smoke whatever you want. You can snort whatever you want. You can do whatever to get your fulfillment. That adrenaline, whatever you want to call it. There's nothing more fulfilling than being connected and putting work into what you're supposed to be doing, like why you're here on the planet. There's nothing more fulfilling. Matter of fact, you won't even know there's nothing more fulfilling until you start doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like even when you're younger, man, and you can make a lot of money, you can live in tight cribs, you can drive fast cars, and it's like, man, life is good. Once you connect to that thing that work, once you connect to that work, there's nothing that feels like that. And it's like you don't even know there's nothing that doesn't feel like that until you feel it. And this is the thing: until you feel it, you're always searching for it. Until you feel it, I don't care if you're pushing Aventadors, I don't care if you're pushing Bugattis, I don't care if you're living in 45,000 square foot homes. Until you find that fulfillment of tied to your purpose, you're always going to be looking for something more. And I'm gonna tell you what happens is, I believe a lot of men fall into the trap of finding that dopamine hit of a certain caliber of woman and setting his anchor right there. You know what I'm saying? Like because a man, I'm gonna say it like this, and I've said it before: a man that has a woman in his life, if he isn't pouring his God essence into his purpose and his passions, he's pouring his God essence into a woman. I'm gonna say it again because I need y'all to think about this. If you aren't pouring your God essence, your energy, if you aren't putting work in moving forward, 9 times out of 10, you're pouring that energy into a woman, or you're one of these men that are walking around every weekend craving a woman to pour it into. You're craving a woman to pour it into. You don't know what to do with it. You're masturbating on the way, you know, so you don't know what to do with that energy, man. That energy, that I'm trying to think of the words I can say here on YouTube. When you have that energy where you want to just explode and take matters in your own hands, that energy is not meant to be released. That energy is meant to be transmuted into purpose. But if you don't know that, that the real fulfillment is on the side of purpose, you'll never move like that. And you'll always put it into a woman. And then you'll always look around and say, man, why is my life doing this, man? Why are these women doing this? It's because you're not moving in alignment with how us as men are supposed to be moving. You're getting your dopamine fix off of a woman. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're a man that's getting your dopamine fix off of a woman, that can't be a healthy relationship. It can't be a healthy relationship. It's out of order. It's out of alignment. It can't be a healthy. It might look good. It might look good on the gram in the book. You know, y'all might be aesthetically pleasing to the eye for Facebook, but energetically, y'all's lives are going to be miserable. Your life as a man is going to be miserable, and it's just a matter of time, man, before you just slowly find that place of death. It's just a matter of time before you just slowly find that place of destruction, brothers. You know what I'm saying? And the last one is, the last reason why I believe us as men seek women of destruction is because a lot of us have a savior complex, right? Meaning a lot of us as men, and I believe this is ego, a lot of us as men, I believe we think that we're him so much, and you should think you're him. But I think we think that we're him so much that we can meet a woman and we can really see the red flags off the bat. We can see the red flags. It's like, oh, okay, you're talking bad about all of your exes. You're doing this, you're doing that. We can see all the red flags, but there's something inside of us that says, you know what? I'm different. I'm the one that can save this woman. Like, you know what? All she needs is a man like me. Like, yeah, she might fit the description of a Proverbs 5 woman to the T. She might fit the description, but I'm him. Now that she's with the real one, now she can lose some of those toxic ways. She can get rid of some of those selfish ways she has. She can get rid of some of those demonic ways she has. She can get rid of some of those vices she has. She got to be drinking. She got to be doing this. She can get rid of that because she's with me now. This thing, man, you look up, man, and your job is lost. Your money is funny. Your health is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you in a jail cell. All because you had a savior complex, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something we need to think about. And there are a million and one different reasons why we do it. But the thing is, us as men, we have to stop. We have to stop. And it's not easy because like in this last video I talked about, this woman of destruction is always evolving. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this as a bonus to the conversation, because the only way to stop it is to be in alignment. The only way to stop it is to be in alignment and to be about our business. And what I mean by that is, if you're in alignment and you're about your business, you're never looking for a woman. I'm gonna say it again, bro, because it's hard to get to this point. If you're in alignment and you're about your business, you're never out looking. You're never in pursuit. You're never hitting the day parties and the clubs looking for the next baddie. Because you gotta understand, when you're in that mode of looking for the next baddie, brother, you're setting yourself. You gotta understand, when you're out looking for a woman, that you can't be looking for a woman and have your eyes on the goal at the same time. You can't be looking for a woman and plugged into purpose at the same time. You can't do it. So us as men, we have to be plugged into purpose so hard that a woman just forces herself in our energy field. And if she can force herself into our energy field and vibrate there, then we're moving in the right direction. But if you're going out getting lit, getting high, and saying, you know what, I want to be focused Monday through Friday, but on Saturday, man, I want to be in a whole different mindset and look for women. You're gonna attract a woman on some other time frame, brother. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, man, us as men, we have to fix it. And I believe the only way to fix it, man, is get back in alignment and be about our business. Focus on our mission. Not saying to leave women alone, but make everything else a priority, man. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on that, brother. All right, brothers, real quick, man. It's 0:30 in the morning, so your boy looking kind of throw it off, man. But I wanted to make, and I don't want to call it a part 2 to my last video where I was talking about brother Shamar Moore, or Sheep, whatever his name is, Moore, the Michigan coach, right? And I was thinking about something, man. I was thinking about like why it is that men are attracted to destructive women. Because we can easily look at the situation of Brother Moore, you know, whether somebody in a high profile